All right, Brett Tanner, long time no see, but I'm excited to be right here sitting almost next to you.
It's like we're back. We're back in it. It's post COVID, and now we're just hanging out like this, just hanging out on the Zoom, just zooming.
Now, you and I have been talking a lot, especially in the last year, about wealth, about the way to build your net worth outside of the real estate business. And I think you're planning something pretty incredible. And I want to learn a little bit more about it, and so does everybody else.
Yeah, I'm beyond excited. Well, that's really what it's my passion. It's what I've been doing really for the last 10 years. I've been on this massive wealth building journey and studying what worked for folks and what didn't, and why are some people and agents ridiculously wealthy and some make a lot of money and are nowhere. And right, I thought income was one of those things, but some people have massive wealth and success and some people don't. So yeah, I've been in that teaching and training space for the last probably 5 years, really teaching what I was doing in my own life. And so I'm so excited in working with Keller Williams, Gary, to bring this really course to Keller Williams. So we're teaching wealth building at KW.
And I got to tell you, when you said I'm teaching what I'm doing, and you run a massive real estate team, you're going to do 250, 300 million this year. I mean, it is the top in the top echelon of the real estate teams. And then to come to find out that is like less than 10% of your net worth. Your net worth is all made up in the wealth space.
So it's funny, right? You say less than 10%, right? I'm building the goals to build my team that can sell. But right now, I mean, honestly, I have my team on my balance sheet at zero, right? I really look at the team creates a lot of cash, right? In real estate business, we create a lot of cash.
Yep.
But what makes you wealthy is, what do you do with that cash? Do you have a really systematic way in terms of like short-term, mid-term, and then forever investments? Like, what's your investment philosophy around how do I take that cash and immediately plug something in where I've got a short-term strategy? Something will do that for you, right? In my world, that's hard money lending, right? I have a short-term debt that I put in, right? Do you have a mid-term plan? Do you have a forever plan? So I think that getting agents around the purpose of business is to create cash, and then what you do with the cash is what can make you really, really wealthy.
Love it. So the agent business is about being an entrepreneur, but the wealth building is about being a capitalpreneur. Have you ever heard that term?
I have not heard that, but you got to coin that. That's good.
It just came to me. I'm genius on these things. But a capitalpreneur, guys, is someone who takes the money that they make and put that to work for them. Gary has taught us for years that if you are looking at your money, if it's sitting in your bank account and you can see it, and you can go get it and you can visit it whenever you want, you are not building wealth. You have to put it in wealthy vehicles. So give us an idea of some of the things we're going to learn, because you're going to be putting on an in-person, not just a Zoom, but an in-person event coming up in the next couple of months, right?
Yeah, right. It's July 21st, 22nd at headquarters in Austin. We're super excited. So the first thing is, we're going to give the people that sign up a little bit of homework, not a ton, Nick, but we're gonna give some homework. You have to get it in the format that we give you, and you've got to walk in with the plan to be worth 50 million bucks. You have to do it. That's the minimum. You can come in with 300 million, Nick. You can come in with 3 trillion. I don't care. Cannot be 40 million. In fact, we will not let you in the room. So you've got to come with the plan that is your plan, not someone else's. It's your plan to be worth $50 million.
Okay, I can already see the value here. Everything I've ever gone to, if I read the book first before I showed up, it was that much more impactful. If I did the homework prior, but I got to tell you, 50 million, I'm a little nervous to get started on that. Is there some sort of framework that's going to help me?
We're going to give you the exact framework. We're going to give you the exact form to fill out. And then I'm going to send you a video that literally walks you through an example of how to do it. Now, the plan is yours, right? So we're going to give you 3 or 4 different examples of a $100 million plan, a 75. We're going to get the creative juices flowing.
Got it.
The idea, though, right, Nick, you might look, hey, I want to do mine all in commercial buildings. I want to do it in apartments. I want to do it in single family rentals. I want to do it whatever. Cool. You're just got to come in there with your plan and we usually say over 30 years, right? 30 years from now, it's 50 million bucks.
Love it.
And then we show you the connectivity. Doesn't matter where you are today. But we're going to show you how to check in next year, 5 years, 10 years from now, so that you know that you're on or off track. And one of the big ahas I had, Nick, from studying the really wealthy, the people that weren't wealthy, it wasn't that they didn't have the income, they had no check-in along the way. They just ran for 30 years, got to the end and like, didn't make it. But you could be on year 4, be off track, and you've got time to go in there and still hit your $50 million plus plan. So the plan in there, we're going to talk about short-term, midterm, and forever strategies, your capital stack. You make money, where you parking it short-term, midterm, forever. And then we also talk about taxes, right? A lot of our people coming to this are high income earners. Let's be honest, taxes are our biggest expense.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to give people 15 ways that they could go back. And I bet there are things they've not heard of, and talk to their CPA and put those in place. Like, and I'll give you one here. We'll just tease one into this video, right? So you and I were talking before this, you got a beach house, right? Do you rent the beach house out when you're not there?
I do.
Okay. So your primary residence, I'm gonna go there. Do you rent your primary residence to your business? Do you utilize the Augusta rule?
I do. And do you know why I do it? Because you taught me that.
Well, very, very kind. So here's the thing, right? So the Augusta rule, here's what's cool. You can rent your house up to 14 days a year, as you know, for your primary. Let's say there's a point in time where that beach house, you decide not to rent it. You're like, no, we go there, we keep our stuff there, we don't want to rent it. You could also rent that another 14 days a year out for business, right? So I don't know what it costs to rent something like your beach house, or rent a hotel room and have all those amenities, like a hotel facility to have all those amenities.
Yeah.
$4 or $5 grand a day. You get 15 days a year. I mean, that's a pretty significant, if it's $5 grand, I mean, it's $75,000. If you're in the top tax bracket, we'll just assume state and federal at 40%. That's a pretty significant amount of money, right? Just to, by the way, no expense to you. Like if you're writing, I mean, you're taking a write-off, whether you're writing off your primary, a second home, everyone can do the primary, right? Something we're all having events, meetings, things we're doing in business in our home. Why not take advantage of it? So you and I are doing the Augusta rule. I don't think most people know about stuff like that. That's just one of the 15 things we're gonna bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, over the last few years with you and I mean, you've helped me with commercial properties. You've helped me with debt. You've helped me structure. When in 2008, 9, 10, you said it best. You were buying houses how?
Oh, just anything that they would. I had no model. I was just buying, right? Buying to buy. But then you got to get a model, right? Then I went and got a serious, try and true investment model that works.
Why? If you were doing it and it was working, why did you need the model?
So the thing is, I was doing it, it was working, right? But then I realized that I wasn't stress testing and really underwriting a portfolio, right? I didn't know every single ratio inside and out my portfolio. I didn't know what an expense load was, but I wasn't fully calculating cash on cash returns, right? Today, when I look at in a property, I'm like, well, what's the expense load on that? Well, why is that 38% versus that one's 29%? Those houses are across the street from each other. Well, that one's in a different town with a higher tax rate or some. But there's all the economics that just in a house, right? And so I went and built a model and then looked at what if rents went down by 10%, 20%, right? What's my equity position? Do I have a buying model that I want to buy 20% below market, I want to put 30% down, and I buy 3.2s? Is that my model, right? So I think that everyone needs to figure out, is it deal or no deal? Does it fit Nick's model, right? And so you just can make a snap judgment, this fits my model.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think a lot of us are, if a deal falls on our lap, we have no problem opening our checkbooks and buying something. But in reality, I don't think we truly know what we're buying if we don't have a complete thesis to understand the investment and how it compares to what your model is, what your thesis is. So coming to this 2 days, will I walk out of there with a better understanding of this?
You're going to walk out of there with, if you've got an existing portfolio, you're going to have a way to model it, to understand it, and to understand all the metrics in we call it our real estate tracker. We're going to give everybody the real estate tracker. You're going to plug in all this data, and you're going to know your best performing asset and your worst performing asset by 3 different ratios, right? So you're going to walk out of there with that. You're going to walk out of there. Like, one of the mistakes I made in my investing was I stayed in Arizona too long. I believed that the real estate I own needed to be my backyard. Mm-hmm. And that worked really well for me being in Phoenix, Arizona. I bought a lot of real estate. Today, I own probably 40%, coming up more, and ultimately it'll be a much larger percentage outside of Arizona. And so the key is, like, again, you own a lot of property, Nick. How often are you running by your rentals? I mean,
as humanly, as little as humanly possible. Sometimes it's 10 or 15 years and I haven't stepped foot in the place.
Exactly, right? So would it matter if it was in Maryland or if it was in Washington?
Nope.
It doesn't. So if you have so why not go look? And there's a way, right? There's research being done that if jobs go in, job growth creates real estate prices to go up. Like if tons of jobs go in, right? Supply demand, job growth, even a downturn market, massive job growth could send in a particular market, send prices up. So
what I love about that is you're not just saying that. I mean, you studied the auto industry, right? And you knew who was going where, when, and bought there, right?
I went and chased Mazda Toyota that went into Huntsville, Alabama. They went in, and as soon as they started scooping dirt, the factory took about 2 years to go in. I went and bought 40 homes around that factory. And the hope was that they would double, maybe triple in value. And they went up about 4 times. And if you actually, here's the craziest thing, Nick, if you said if you research what's the number one place in the United States to live right now, Huntsville was ranked number 1 in the most recent, which that part's just luck. That was just good luck at the end, right? But buying around the factory was hyper strategic. And so chasing US manufacturing, right? You look at, there's like Ford, these new EV factories that Ford's putting in, right? There's 2 different locations those are going in. Well, Ford's going to make it, right? They're going to build a lot of electric vehicles. There's a mandate for this. So I'm tracking as soon as those factories start scooping dirt, I'm going to go in and we'll be buying around those.
Love it. Love it. So you're actually using your model to decide what you're buying and to find the deals, not just waiting for it to fall in your lap.
100%. And so we talk about, I mean, this is a big part of it. Where do you invest, right? In terms of real estate. I think agents should invest in the thing they know better than anybody else. Right. But we get into the protection side of things too, right? We're going to talk about, like I know you and I both have a whole life policy, right? In leveraging, having both a way to take care of our families and protect them, yet a way to turn that into a way to free up capital, right? You can put a line of credit on it, go use it to do deals. So all the things that I think that you and I have been fortunate enough to be in really, really small rooms about, we want to bring that out now and teach wealth building just to a much larger group.
It's funny, every time we're in a room with Gary, we always pick at little things and we talk about little wealth building things and we talk about what we should be doing, but we don't sit down and create a model around it. We don't sit down and truly understand and walk out of the room and going, I need to do this, 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 this to get here. I think it couldn't be more timely to have this opportunity to go to this.
No, I'm really excited to do it. And I think that, like I said, you and I get in that room, we're in Gary's top 100, but we're really in there to build our businesses, right? We're in there to learn that side of it. Now, wealth building, Gary's the oracle. He's the ultimate wealth building, guy. He is the guy. But we can't have that conversation at that deep level in that room because we're there for a different purpose. It's just, that's not the core purpose of that room. And so this is a room where this is the entire purpose. The entire purpose of the KW Wealth course and where we're going is the entire purpose of it is to help agents become massively wealthy.
All right, last question. You were a pig farmer.
That is true. It's the perfect setup for real estate.
Who would I listen to for my wealth but a pig farmer?
Exactly. Well, first of all, if you think about it, right, what career would set you up to deal with tough buyers and sellers more than being a pig farmer? There isn't any. Think about it like that. Now, grew up in the poorest county of Colorado, so there wasn't a ton of wealth building in Dove Creek, Colorado. But I'll tell you what, I had the good opportunity to actually create a pig farm. And I'll tell you what it set me up perfectly for. I just brought the farmer's work ethic to the business arena, and it worked really well for me.
Love it. Love it. And you were in investing and in this space way prior to starting your real estate team, correct?
I got my license to do my own deals on flips, just to be able to list and buy and sell my own property. So I kind of came to this business in 2005. I was doing this in 2000, 2001, 2002. And I got everything going I used agents, right? By 2005, I just realized it was a necessary need. And so I started, I got my license just to do my own deals. So I only represented one client. It was myself.
Love it. So you've been in this wealth building mode for 20 years, where a lot of us have been realtors for 20 years, but not capitalpreneurs. And that's really what we want to build, capitalpreneurs.
100%. I'm going to give you credit for that term, but capitalpreneur is something we got to put in there. We got to 100%. We got to put it in there.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a whole other way of thinking. Where is your money and how is it working for you? And if you can have a plan set up, and every time you sell another house or your team sells another 10 houses, where is that money going? And it can go in one of two places. It can go to that new Porsche and the new boat and the new fancy whatever, or you can be investing in something for your future, which I think you've done a phenomenal job of, and you still seem to enjoy life.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you can, by the way, the wealth building is what gets you all your time back, right? Is you have tons and tons of passive income coming in. You could still have a massive business as well. And I mean, I do both, but the passive income is what gave me the freedom.
Love it. All right. Best place you traveled this year. Now, guys, I didn't say lifetime. I said this year. Watch this.
So this year, full disclosure, I ripped my kids out of school for a year and I spent a year traveling the world. So that's kind of what I did. So this is going to be you gave me a loaded question. I would definitely say the Maldives. We went for Christmas and New Year's, we're in the Maldives, 2 different islands, and that was exceptional.
Wow.
So that's the best place I've been this year. Yeah.
So the whole point of everything we're building, everything this class is teaching, is it so that if we have the desire to take off a year and travel and enjoy life and spend time with our family, we can do it with the passive income coming in from all of our investments.
100%. I think Nick, all agents I think people want freedom. They want freedom to choose the work they do, where they do it, how they do it, and who they do it with.
Yeah.
And for me, the passive income and wealth allowed me that freedom of those 4 choices.
Love it. And I know from our talks, like I've told my wife, I love creating. I love being in the business. I love all that stuff. I also love my family. I love traveling. So all I'm doing is scheduling more vacations a year than I ever have before. And then when I'm there, I'm there. And when I'm here, I'm here. And I think that the more passive income coming in, the more that opens up that time. I love it.
1,000%. 1,000%.
All right. July 21st, 22nd.
July 21st, 22nd in Austin.
Awesome. And this is limited, right? There's only so much room in this room.
Yeah, the room is, there is a cap. So I would tell you I think it's going to fill up a little bit quickly. Super excited about it. Gary is personally reviewing the curriculum and it's going to be a jam-packed 2 days.
Say that last part one more time. You broke up just a little bit.
Yeah. So I said it's a jam-packed 2 days. I'm super excited to do it. Gary is personally reviewing the curriculum, working on it with him. And I'm super excited to, I hope to see everybody July 21st, 22nd in Austin.
Fantastic. All right. I can't wait. Your Facebook page. You've got a great opportunity for people to hear about different wealth strategies and wealth information where they're just picking interest. This class is about to teach us everything, but what is that again?
Yeah. Just Facebook, Be a Wealthy Agent, facebook.com/be a wealthy agent. Yeah. We got about 5,000 members. I think we crossed the other day. And that's just a place where we're giving back. So there's nothing to buy in there. It's all give, wealth building strategies, tax strategies, everything's in there too. So check that out. We'll give you a flavor for it. If you want to go to the next level, definitely come see us July 21st, 22nd in Austin.
Love it. Love it. I appreciate you being on here today.
Hey, thank you, Nick. I appreciate you.
All right. See ya.